Hey Gators, welcome back to Sittin with Simmons. Again, I'm Bob Simmons, your head men's basketball coach. And joining us today is Allegheny alum, 2013 grad, Devone McLeod, the legend himself, is joining us. Devone, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. We figured we'd get you on the show, Devone, because every day we walk up and down the stairs to the arena, we see your picture. So we figured, enough looking at your picture, let's look at the real deal. Looks like you can still play a little bit, so we're going to get into that in a minute here. But first, let me introduce our sponsor of the show today. So Gators, today's sponsor, the Allegheny College Econ Department. Why the Econ Department? We have the Econ Department's favorite son, Devone McLeod, on the show. I cannot campus and not hear from econ professors that had Devone about Devone. So that's today's sponsor, the Allegheny College Econ Department.
That's too fun.
Let's jump right into it. We touched on it in the intro here of you, 2013 grad, Allegheny grad. Why'd you come to Allegheny? Hang on. Let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about where you're from first, and then how you got from there to Allegheny College, because that's a pretty neat story.
Yeah, so I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey. Born and raised, still live in New Jersey, not Jersey City. I played high school basketball at St. Anthony's High School. For basketball fans, they may know Bob Hurley Sr. Bob Hurley Jr. played at Duke. My brother also went to St. Anthony's and also played at Duke. His name is Devone McLeod. And when I was a junior at St. Anthony's, we were the #1 high school team in the country. Played with future NBA players and a lot of Division I players. My senior year. So the interesting story about Allegheny was my senior year. I was playing. I'm not as tall as my brother. I always say that he's better at basketball. I count better. I was looking for a basketball scholarship, and my guidance counselor actually said, Devone, you have pretty good grades. Why don't you just apply to other colleges, not based off of basketball? I said, you know what, I'll do it because it's probably the right thing to do. But as a high school kid, you have that dream of playing and getting a scholarship and whatnot. And my freshman year coach, Coach Clune, he saw my application and saw that I went to St. Anthony's, I guess, as he was going through the applications, and I guess did some research on his end, and he invited me out to play. He invited me out on campus, and I got to meet the players and play some pickup. And then I saw the campus, and I was like, "This is beautiful!" Like, a city kid coming to Allegheny's campus. I think once you're a student there, you start to get accustomed to it. But that first impression of the campus, you're like, "Wow, this is so beautiful." And I can definitely see myself spending 4 years there. So at that point, my mom always taught me that education is, in the long run, is more important than anything. So what was it? Go to a school, get a scholarship somewhere, and to a school that isn't as academically on par with a school like Allegheny, or and wait it out, or get a good education and see where my future takes me from there. So that's how I ended up at Allegheny. It ended up working out.
Jersey City to Meadville, back to Jersey.
Yeah.
Full circle. Devone is the 10th leading scorer here at Allegheny College, sitting at 1,269 points. So he got that jump shot thing figured out pretty quick. He's a fast learner. He also could distribute it a little bit. 8th in the record books with most assists, and back to the jump shot, tied for 7th with 3-point field goals made. So all those times in the backyard, Devone, taking those lumps certainly paid off, at least for the Gators. So pretty impressive career. In 12, 13, you were named team captain. What was that like, being named team captain?
I think it was interesting. I think for me, Allegheny was a great place where I was able to grow. I think earlier on, I would say that I thought I showed leadership qualities. I was able to start off 4 years, but I think that I was able to show better leadership, lead by example as a senior. I think earlier on in my career, I had a passion for the game, and I thought that the way you show that you're a leader was to just to be vocal about it, right? Just get on guys, right? And that's how I was raised to play the game, right? It's just to kind of get on guys, tough love. Until later on, I understood that I needed to just lead by. A big part of being a leader is leading by example, and I think I really figured that out my last year. So it was an honor to be a team captain at that point, especially as I was able to move forward in my maturity as not just a player, but as an individual. So
on campus, you're eating on campus. All right, take your days back to when you were a student. You're eating on campus. We going Brooks, or we going McKinley's? Where are we going?
So the problem that I always had was I was always out of my McKinn's really, really early, because McKinn's was like, growing up in the city, it reminded me of a corner store in a way, like where you're just able to just go, and all times of the day I would just go get chicken tenders, go get chips, and not good for the diet for you guys. I learned a lot about diet once you're not playing anymore. Your metabolism starts slowing down. You realize things like calorie count. But this is tough. I would go McKinn's. I like the offering, but I would go McKinn's. Honestly, Brooks I have love for Brooks, but McKinn's was the place to be.
Hey, don't feel bad. That's still the theme on campus today, where everyone's running out of their McKinn's money really early. So it's an Allegheny tradition that is ongoing and probably will continue to go on for many more years. So don't feel too bad about that. Vaughn, let's talk a little bit. Month of February here, Black History Month. The theme of Black History Month is the Black family, representation, identity, and diversity. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you?
I think it means a lot to me. So what was interesting, especially at a place like Allegheny, was, I was an economics major, but I ended up being a Black Studies minor. So I was able to take these courses based off of, the literary canon that's not essentially the most African-American thing, but find, the writers, the Langston Hughes of the world, folks like that. And also take Black history courses to create this Black Studies minor. So it was great. I was able to create a foundation of my own experiences growing up, clearly, being a Black man, and then maneuvering through the world. And you talk about, the idea of, being Black or being a minority is, in creating that family structure, and family structure is everything, right? One of the biggest issues in the African-American community is the issues with family structure, whether it's the prison industrial complex and all those different things, and how, I think folks like myself, you talk about, ways to lead by examples, or be able to provide what I would call like information, right? Like everyone talks about the lack of resources in certain communities, but I think it's not just an issue with the lack of resources, it's the lack of information, right? Meaning how that information is flowing to underprivileged communities, right? And I think that it's important for folks who have been able to start to move up that that social rung, social ladder, to be able to bring that information back. So I think that this month, in general, what's important is you take all of these great Black leaders that we celebrate, and the idea isn't to just post them up and let kids see them and say who's Martin Luther King, but what do they stand for, and how can you recreate those values in your everyday life? I think that's the most important thing about this month.
Great. pull a couple things out of that. That was a great answer. Thank you for going in depth there. What did Allegheny College, the Allegheny College degree and experience, do for you? How did it help get you where you are today? So why don't you talk about where you are and what you're doing, and then how did Allegheny help get you there?
Yeah. So what I do, so I work in finance. So I'm a certified financial planner. I work for a firm in Connecticut. I started my career. I moved through the banking channel to ultimately arrive at this stage. And what Allegheny did for me, I think, compared to I can't compare too many other colleges, but like what Allegheny did for me is your critical thinking ability, right? Like so many classes at Allegheny, it wasn't just multiple choice, right? It was like, this is a problem. Find the fact patterns, find different avenues to solve said problem, and that helps you in life as you move forward. So whether it's something that's technical that has to do with your job, or whether that's just life in general, critical thinking ability is paramount, right? In your ability to just solve things, right? And I think that's what Allegheny was able to do for me more than anything.
Great. But we got a little deep there, Gators. So we're gonna change some gears here a little bit. We're gonna have a little bit of fun with Devone. So before Devone got on camera here with us, there was just a wall behind him with some sunlight coming in. So I thought he was waiting for his walk-up music. So Devone, we're introducing you on the show. We're introducing you coming out of the locker room. What's your walk-up song? What's the song you're coming out to? What's the walk-up song?
Probably I'm a big Jay-Z fan, so probably Jay-Z, What More Can I Say? Yeah.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. I see a lot of people will enjoy that and understand that. So good choice there. Good choice.
Yeah.
So go back to your play days. What's the one memory that stands out to you? I'm sure you got a lot of them. What's that one memory that you always go back to?
So this probably isn't the happiest memory, but it's a memory nonetheless. We're playing against Worcester, and they were probably like number 1 or number 2 in the country. And we were down. We're down 2. Yeah, we're down 2, and we had a couple seconds left, and they had a guard at the free throw line. He probably was a 90% free throw shooter. He hits the first one, and I say to DeAndre Corbin, who was the other backcourt guard, I said, I think if he misses the second one, if he misses the second one, come down the right side. Dribble up, come the full length of the court, come down the right side, hand off. We had this play that we always, he would flip it to me for a 3. So he misses it. He's like a 90% free throw shooter. He misses it, dribbles down. They're number 1 team in the country, number 1 or number 2 team in the country. He hands the ball off to me. I'm on the wing. I hit the 3. Like, crowd goes nuts. It's kind of pandemonium in there. I'm like, oh my God, just the game's tied. Kid Ian Franks, who was the best player on their team, catches the ball, dribbles to half court, and pulls up and hits a 3 to win for Worcester to win the game. Nobody thought that we were going to be able to play with him. I was a sophomore at the time, so it was a younger part of my career, but they were number 1, number 2 team in the country. But like, the lesson I got from that is like, you know what, never count yourself out. We're this close, and they beat us on the lucky half court shot. So that was a pretty interesting memory. It was fun times.
The play worked. The play you guys had, dribble handoff, wing jumper, worked, right?
Yeah.
We just got to work on the defense a little better.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We got to put a little more emphasis on the D. All right, I got you. I got you. Devone, what's something that you would say to a Allegheny perspective, someone looking at Allegheny, what would you want to tell them about why they should come to Allegheny College?
I think what I love about Allegheny I touched on the critical thinking, but I think the community and like how, look, I've been now, 8 years removed from Allegheny, and I'm still involved as much as I possibly can. I think that Allegheny feels like a family more than anything, not just a place, a college you go and you feel like you don't have a connection to. You see an Allegheny alumni in the airport that could have graduated 30 years prior. You feel that connection. Did you go to Allegheny College? I did. So it's a great feeling. So I think that sense of community and how important Allegheny. I still get emails about, if there's a big debate that's happening on campus and about a social issue, about something else that's going on from a current events. I still get emails as an alumni, right? This is the perspective of what's going on campus, right? That's a great feeling, right? That's a sense of community that everybody's involved. So I think if you're prepared for that, and if that's something you like, that sense of community, a home away from home, then I think Allegheny is a place for you.
Gators, I want to just take this opportunity to thank Devone for his friendship over these last 6 years since I've been here. Devone was one of the first Allegheny College men's basketball alum that I connected with when I got here on campus, and we've built a pretty neat friendship relationship. I can call and pick his brain or ask for help anytime he's on campus. And this is the nice thing about our alumni. They always come back to campus, and Devone comes back and talks on campus. And obviously this is before COVID, but he always makes sure to stop by the office and say hello. And we spend a little time together. And so I just want to thank Devone here for his friendship. And now when you come back to campus, once we start letting people back on campus, I got gear in the office for you alumni. So I understand why you guys are stopping by. So
exactly.
I remember I didn't go to Allegheny. I'm a slow learner. I picked things up a little late, but I got gear here for you guys when you stop by. So a little parting gift for you guys. So, but I want to thank you for joining the show today. It's been great catching up with you. Gators, as always, make sure we stay safe, we stay healthy, we stay together, and we stay masked up and refuse to lose.